What's up guys, I'm Zach and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my 6-month monetization journey as a small creator with 1,000 subscribers. Now I want to start that journey at December 21st in the December month, as that is the first month where I actually got monetized. Now we're not going to count the whole month towards the actual 6-month period, as I did get monetized towards the end of December, as I mentioned, as of December 21st. But I do want to look at the analytics and just show you where it sort of started off with in terms of my monetization journey. Now, starting off for the month of December, I did make 6 videos and I did get 40,000 in views, 1.3k in watch time, 100 subscribers, and as you can see, as of December 21st, I actually made $3.70. Now, this was super excited for me, especially because I had been doing YouTube for a year before this, and that was purely because I enjoyed making YouTube videos. I was very inspired about the content that I wanted to show you guys, and it was just something that I wanted to do because I enjoyed it. So just seeing $3.70 come into my actual analytics in terms of monetization for something I had been doing because I liked it was super exciting for me. Now this was actually the least amount I made for the month of December. As you can see, the next day I actually made the most, which was $8.53, and for the entire month as a total of December, from December 21st to the end of December, I actually made $63.37. Now, I will mention everything that you're going to see today will be sort of in relation to views, and I feel like that's something that perhaps gets overlooked a little bit. Now, subscribers is great, and for me, the journey to get to 1,000 subscribers was quite difficult. Now, I feel like a lot of people do struggle with their watch time. However, I actually found that the watch time was a lot easier for me in terms of my videos. I hit 4,000 hours in watch time quite easily from the content that I was posting, whereas I really did struggle to get to that actual 1,000 subscribers. Now, for the month of January, I did post 7 videos. I got 37,000 in views, 1.2k in watch hours. I also got 81 subscribers during this time, and I did make a whopping $169.54, which was quite exciting for me, especially for that month. Now, that was a great start for me. Now, during that month, the lowest amount I made was $4.08, and the most was $8.22. Now, this was super exciting. This was where I sort of felt like YouTube is a genuine sort of platform where I could start making money. It was great to see that my content was sort of paying off. Now, in relation to the views, I feel like that's actually a decent amount of money. Now, I will mention that in videos over 10 minutes, they are going to get a little bit more money in terms of every click and every view. That is something to mention, and you will see as my revenue goes up, some of the times the views might stay the same, but it is really about optimizing your videos at the end of the day and, you know, putting mid-roll ads and figuring out how to do that, which I didn't really figure out until the sort of end period towards June, which you will see as I do sort of spike up in revenue. With that being said, that was a pretty great month for January. January and February tends to be a little bit more slow on YouTube, as I did learn, but this was a great month, especially starting out for me. Moving into the period of February. Now, I have had a few holidays booked this year, so I did start to slow down as I started to travel in the month of February. I tried to sort of queue up a few videos, but I only posted 4 videos during this time. I did get 35,500 in terms of views, 1.1k in terms of watch hours, and 76 subscribers during this time. Now, I actually made a lot more this month. In fact, I actually made $227.03, which I felt was actually quite great for that month. Now, the lowest amount I made during the month was $4.07, and the most being, and this was a big surprise for me, it just sort of came in randomly, and that's something you'll learn about YouTube, is that even though you may post a video, a few days later, it might just spike up. And that's exactly what happened on February 25th, as I made $15.15, which was super exciting for me. A great sort of start into the month. I was feeling a lot more motivated. $224 was a great big number to come in. Now, I will mention as we go into the month of March that YouTube does pay you monthly, which can be a pro and a con. Now, a lot of people would prefer to be paid weekly or fortnightly like myself. However, it sometimes is good to see that big number come in towards the end of the month. Now, moving into the March. Now, March, I was on 2 cruises, so I was quite busy during this time. So I only posted 3 videos during the month of March. Now, as you can see, I haven't been that consistent with my YouTube. I wish I was a little bit more consistent in terms of my videos, and that's definitely going to change in the future once I actually stop going on all these holidays, as this year has been, sort of reserved for traveling. However, over the next month, which will be my last destination and trip, I will get back onto being a little bit more, ideally, a little bit more consistent in terms of my videos. Now, for the month of March, we did make 37,500 views, which was slightly up over last month. 1.1k in terms of watch hours. We did get 91 subscribers during this time. And the least amount of money, which was actually towards the end of March, we made $6.24 on March 30th. And the most we made during the month of March was on March 4th, which was $12.45. And consistently throughout the month, we were hitting around $7 as the average, around $7.50, which was a great sort of amount to bring our whole total up to $243.44 for the month of March. That is a little bit of an increase over last month. Definitely great to see that it is consistently going up, as is the views and the watch time. Now, the only thing I have been struggling with during this time is subscribers, and that is something I do wish to address. And I feel like perhaps my content here, especially with how rushed it seemed, I feel like that definitely lacks, and it shows that perhaps the videos were getting views, but people weren't really wanting to stick around and subscribe, which is fair enough. Now, for the month of April, now this was a bigger one. This is where I started to see a little bit more spike, as I did post a lot more videos during this month. So for the month of April, I actually posted 10 videos. I did start to learn to sort of schedule them ahead of time, ahead of trips, just so that there was videos consistently being posted. Now, with that being said, for the month of April, we actually did get a boost in the views. So we nearly hit 50k. So we did stop at 49,500 views for the month, 1.6k hours in watch time. We did get 90 subscribers for the month of April as well. Now, the lowest amount I made was on April 9th at $5.34. And the most, which was quite exciting for me, we did make $14.74 on April 25th. Now, something to note, even though the money was consistently sort of raising during this period of April in relation to me posting videos, I would actually say that you do get a lot more money based on how long people are watching the videos. And that's because mid-roll ads, or the type of ads that they're going to be shown. So longer videos where people are actually watching the video a lot more is actually going to provide a lot more in terms of monetary value than videos that are just getting a lot of views, but people are clicking off immediately. Now, that does sort of sound like it should be a well-known fact, but sometimes I feel like a lot of people just pay attention to a ton of views, whereas you want the content to be saturating. You want people to be watching the entire video. Now, this is something I have struggled with throughout my YouTube career, as I have sometimes focused a little bit on just sort of pumping out the content, getting views, and that never really equates to subscribers or good monetary value in terms of views. Now, with that being said, I did post one of my videos which did quite well during the boom of the sort of Yeezy and Vulture hype, and that was on April 19th. Now, this one definitely helped provide a ton of views for the channel and did consistently bring up the money for the entire month consistently, and moving on to the next month. Now, that did bring the total up for the entire month of April to $264.99. So as you can see, we are building on each month in terms of the views and the money, which is super exciting. So April was a great month for me. Okay, so moving into the month of May. Now, May was a super exciting month as well. As you can see, we're going to be increasing once again month over month here. So for the entire month of May, we did get 54,004 viewers. In terms of watch time, we did get 1.7k in terms of hours. Subscribers, we hit over 100, which was 109, which was super exciting. During this period, you can see the money in terms of the lowest to the most definitely has increased from that $7 mark, which we were sort of benchmarking at for a little bit there. So the lowest amount I actually made during the month of May was $8.40 during May 8th, and the most being $15.73 on May 21st. Now, that did bring our total revenue for the month of May up to $329.28, which was super exciting. A great month for May. 10 videos posted. This is where I was sort of pumping it out because I did have another holiday coming up. I was going on another cruise, and that's a consistent theme. I do love my cruises. So cruising definitely has been interfering, especially with my consistency, but I have been trying to post a little bit more. Now, we're going to move into the next month, which is another big month here. Now, moving into the month of June. Now, this was as I was finishing my cruises. I had a Melbourne trip. I went to Vietnam for 2 weeks. So I honestly didn't have any content planned, so I was definitely lacking in terms of how many videos I was posting. So I only actually posted 5 videos for the entire month, which was very close together, and they just sort of branched together within a 1-week time frame, which is definitely shouldn't do. You should plan a lot more content to be consistently, maybe every week or every 2 weeks or so. Now, during this period, we did get 54,000 views, 1.7K in watch time, 130 subscribers. The lowest I actually made for the day was June 1st, which was only $6.98. And the most I made during June was on June 28th. We finally broke the $20 barrier at $24.45. Now, this did bring our estimated revenue all the way up to $353.79 for the month of June. And of course, June does mean that we're at the end of the 6-month period, which means we can have a look at the entire statistics from the last 6 months. So during the 6 months from January 1st to June 30th, we made a whopping 267,000 views, 8.4K in terms of watch hours. We did make 577 subscribers during this time, and that did bring our entire revenue up for the last 6 months at $1,585.06. Now, unfortunately, my YouTube did just overheat. However, I wanted to actually show you some analytics from the last 6 months in terms of how my actual videos are performing, which ones are the number one in terms of views, and which ones are the number ones in terms of revenue. With that being said, getting straight into it, as you can see, scrolling down, I will never really look at this graph right here. I feel like it can be useful in some occasions, but honestly, going down, looking at the actual analytics itself is much easier to read. Now, getting into number one, as you can see, the best performing video is I brought every mellow recovery croc so you don't have to. Now, I actually made this video on a whim. I actually just wanted to pick up the mellow recovery slides, but I actually got a deal if I ordered more of it, which I initially had intended to actually return, which I didn't do because I actually kept everything in the video, which I loved, which is great because as you can see, the estimated revenue was $152.07. It actually paid off everything that I purchased in the video, which was super exciting. Really loved this. Now, as you can see in number 2, now you're gonna see that discrepancy which I talked about earlier, whereas just because the video might get more views, the longer form content does make a lot more money. So as you can see, number 2, it does have nearly half the views of the Formula 1 jacket. So the Yeezy Vultures merch haul and try on, it has got close to 12,000 views, and it has made me $76, which is actually quite a recent video. So it is actually performing quite well. Now, in relation to number 3, as you can see, you're going to see that discrepancy there with a 5-minute video being the Formula 1 Red Bull and Ferrari jackets. And that did get 18,000 views, and it's only made $61. So as you can see the discrepancy. If a shorter video may not make as much as a larger video, and especially in relation to views. Now, scrolling down, then you start to see the other videos that have performed well, which is honestly very interesting to see because some of these videos I have made on a whim, especially in terms of the Birkenstocks, the Crocs Dylan clogs, the Salomons. Now, some of these videos obviously doing $40, $50. It might not be a lot in the grand scheme of things, but all of that does add up, especially towards the end there. Now, unfortunately, my camera did just die. Regardless, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope it was informative to you guys for what a YouTube channel with 1,000 subscribers and my current views actually perform in terms of monetization. And guys, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. I'm happy to answer anything, especially in terms of analytics or questions you may have, especially about starting a YouTube channel or if you're close to getting monetized. And if you have any questions in the future, leave them down below. I'm happy to answer them there. If you guys did enjoy the video, once again, feel free to drop a like down below. It's the best way to show your support of the channel. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next one. See ya.